But these are my pride and joy. So these are 3,000 strawberries. I grew a lot of strawberries in Monterey when we farmed. We did about 2 acres of strawberries up there. Nice. So that's where I fell in love with them. Oh. And I always knew I wanted to do strawberries, but strawberries are expensive. So it took the first year, I just kind of focused on veggies, kind of get things rolling. I didn't know how strawberries would really take out here in the heat. And then second year, I did an experimental plant. I did only about 1,000. I was like, I'm just gonna do 1,000, which ended up being 6 rows at about 70 feet. And they took off. They did so well for me last year for the first time. And I was like, wow, like they really love the soil out here. So the following, or this November, I did 3,000. So every year I'm just kind of climbing. Probably eventually I'll have half of this field in strawberries. Wow. Because, yeah.
And they sell real well at the market. And
they sell very well at the market. They're prolific. So I did 2 different varieties. This front section here is a Chandler. So this is June bearing. So these will be supposedly they'll come in really, really strong March, April, May, like full blown. And then they'll kind of stop. What my plan on doing with these is cutting them in June, cutting them all the way back, and then come September, they'll start having their regrowth, and they should put another production out. So you almost get the 2. You get the early season, late season, and then I did 2,000 Albions, which is an everbearing, and that's going to be your main season berry. So that he'll just kind of be there doing strong from pretty much March, April to August. He'll be pumping berries.
So the strategy is to kind of spread out the harvest throughout the year.
Exactly. Just to get a continual harvest. This one will come in early, late. This one will just be my main season.
Got it. That's neat. That's smart.
Yeah. I have a friend up in Watsonville who does 100,000 berry plants a year. Wow. So he's been mentoring me in this whole process. He's an organic strawberry grower up there. That's who I get my berry plants from. Mm-hmm. And he's been, like I said, he's been mentoring me through the whole process. I send him a video of my field every week, and he kind of dissects it. He just, he could read the plants.
It's just so great to have a mentor like that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. We got to have mentors forever, our whole life, man. It's the best.
And he was the one that pushed me to do the berries. He's like, no, you need to do the berries. You need to do the berries. And at first I was really hesitant. I was like, no. And he drove them down to me personally. He's like, I'm driving them down from Monterey to you. You're planting these things. And so.
Fantastic.
Yeah, he's been a really, really great guy and a huge help.
So how long do these berries last? Like, how long do they produce fruit for before you have to put in a new set?
If they're done well, you can get two years out of them.
2 years.
2 years. Usually they're kind of a one and done. Okay. Like usually they'll go through one main season, they'll pull them all out, restart, redo a whole other section. If they're done well and you could keep the berry plants healthy, they can do a second season. They just get a little bit smaller berries. Sometimes they'll get a little bit more deformed because of bugs. But other than that, you could go up to 2 years for sure.
Okay.
And home gardeners, they could go up as long as they want. They're technically a perennial.
They'll keep going, but for production, you gotta have it pumping.
Exactly. They need to go through a certain amount of chill hours, things like that, which here in San Diego, I don't think we get enough chill hours for that. So they actually have to be put in a fridge for like 20 days before they get delivered to you to get the chills.
Oh,
and then with that, because if you don't get the chill, you won't get any berries. You'll get big, beautiful plants, but you won't get any berries.
Interesting. So let's say you wanted to make your own runners.
Yep.
You would want to maybe put them in the fridge too, especially if you live in San Diego, or could you just plant immediately, or?
Yeah, I know a lot of people will, but say like these, for instance, it could be for the following year, you would want to do that. But say like this. So what I'll do here, like this berry plant didn't come in, he died. Mm-hmm. One of these are going to produce a runner like this.
Okay.
They're gonna produce a runner. They're gonna put a little plant out. I'm actually gonna follow that runner and plant him into that thing. So he re-roots. And then 2 weeks later, I'm gonna cut him. He'll fill, and he'll actually produce because that's technically the same plant he wanted to be on. So he'll actually produce and fill in and do all right.
So when you put that runner in the next hole, will a new strawberry plant come up in that hole the next season?
It'll actually be this season.
Or this? Wow.
Yeah, it'll actually be this season and start producing in like 2 months.
And then that runner that becomes the next strawberry, that will last another season for you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, they're pretty interesting. I find with the Albions, the only downfall they do have is they do put a bunch of runners out. So you have to, the maintenance on them is a little bit, like every 3 weeks I have to come through here and cut all the runners, which can be a timely thing because runners are not what you want. You want flowers and
you want to put the energy
you want
into
to put the energy into the production, not the plant.
So the ever-bearing strawberry will put off more runners typically.
Yeah. On average, I should be harvesting 8 boxes every 5 days out of here. 8 boxes is about $48 a box. So, so you say 50 times 8 every 5 days. So that's,
$400.
$400 every 5 days on just berries.
That's great.
So, every week I'm doing, at the height of season, almost $1,000
berries.
on berries, just on berries.
Right.
And then, another 1,000 to 15 on just veggies. So they're half of my production.
Wow.
So they're a big deal, and I
it's
think
important. And we have the climate for these guys.
They seem to be all right. As time goes on, I want to do a lot more experiments with them. I want some that are going to be under shade covers, things like that, push some limits. I'm going to do a summer planting of strawberries for winter production. There's so many limits you could push with them. Right now I'm just sticking with that main season. All right, you have that 9 months of berries, boom. But things like JR Organics and stuff, he's able to push winter berries by doing summer plantings.
That's how he's doing it. I've been wondering, because he has them year-round basically.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. But I actually use JR as one of my mentors too. He's a when I first moved down here, he was one of the first people that kind of opened up his farm to me. And I wasn't doing my own starts at that time, and he let me buy all of his starts off of him. And not a lot of people would do that. Wow. And I'm in the booth right next to him at Solana Beach. So for someone to do that takes a big heart,
Wow, I didn't know that.
Okay. He's a cool guy. And my first year out here, he would take me out to his farm, show me around, But he's a big traditional farm, organic farm.
Great.
But it's still cool to just pick his brain because he's 3rd generation out here. He knows what limits to push, how to push them. And he did last year. He did a summer planting of Albions. And he said at first they didn't take very well, but by November, December, he was getting berries